It is the centenary celebration of an icon, a distinguished Ogun Central senator in the Second Republic. His heart is made of gold, and he has centuries worth of wisdom and experiences. He is endowed with the wisdom of 100-year-old and the agility of a 30-year-old, which is quite an extraordinary combination. Congratulations to a distinguished AGSOBA and elder statesman, lover of education and youth, a thoroughbred professional and teacher, role model, a caring and loving father. Abeokuta Grammar School Old Boys Association, AGSOBA, presents a special documentary commemorating the 100th birthday of one of their own and oldest member, distinguished AGSOBA Senator Kunle Oyero, 3745.
I feel very proud that during my tenure, Oyero turned 100. I'm very happy that we have 10 old boys waiting to be 100, and I pray that God will also enable them all to turn 100.
Birthday.
Happy birthday!
Kunle Oyero.
Today, Oyero is the oldest AGSOBA alive, the oldest old boy of our school that is still alive.
Kunle Oyero is a prince of the Eribi ruling house of Oyero in Owode local government area of Ogun State. Born on Sunday, the 28th of October, 1923, as first son but second child. He is the Oloriebi of the Oyero royal family. His father was the late Bale Emmanuel Idowu Oyero, and his mother was the late Oloye Marian Molola Oyero, the Iyajo of St. John's Church, Oyero. Oyero Town was founded in 1831 by his great-grandfather, Oyero, a fearless hunter, farmer, and canoe builder. He started his primary education at St. Paul's School, Oluke, about a mile down the road from Oyero Town. He worked to and from school from 1932 to 1935. He moved on to St. Paul's School, Igbore, in 1936, and then to Abeokuta Grammar School in 1937. His father sent him to Abeokuta Grammar School on the advice of the late Reverend S.P. Adinka, who was then in charge of the Anglican Diocese in Ifo. He completed his primary school education at Abeokuta Grammar School between 1937 and 1939 and proceeded to the secondary level in the same school, from where he finished in 1945. 99-year-old Chief William Adewale Akimbami is his classmate.
We were classmates at the Abeokuta Grammar School. Fortunately for us, we were from Egbado. So we were able to put together the good name of Egbado to Abeokuta Grammar School. Anytime we appear in this place, we must say that the good name of that place is kept. And we did not allow anything to go bad. I wish you many happy returns of that day.
He was given a scholarship by the late Reverend Kuti in 1943.
A lot of encouraging things were said to us in the Abeokuta Grammar School when we joined in 1951. Oyero was a household name in the school. I'm sure he did not leave God alone, and that's why God had remained with him and kept him going up until now. I haven't attained the age of 100 years. All I can do is to wish him many more years in very good health, and he should always make sure that he is always on the side of God.
But I'm also happy to say that as of today, we have about 10 of our members who are between the ages of 90 and 100. While Baba Oyero is 100, the youngest in the group of 10 is Baba AGSOBA Chief Doja Adewolu, who only just turned 90 a few weeks ago.
In the years, Oyero was a senior prefect. He was one of the best senior. He never punished unduly, but you can never go with him. And one thing that he was known for is because at the beginning of every year in Abekta Grammar School, we read Roman 12. And Roman 12 is one thing that people, if you are reading it, you are not a good, and you misspell or mispronounce anything, Kuti will remove you. Say next, and the next 12 or so. But Oyero is one of those who read Romans chapter 12 went to the end without flaw. And of course, it's a good leader.
But within that group, we have Baba Kimbami, we have Baba Ogunbode, we have Baba AGSOBA Dr. Majekodumi, who is 91.
A very great disciplinarian. We were all scared of him. We were very afraid of him, particularly those of us in the boarding house, because at that time, you had to be neat. You could not speak vernacular. That means you could not speak Yoruba. It was English all the time. And anywhere around you had to be neat. So that if you were in your room, if your bed was not made, you were in trouble. He was also an athlete, because we used to take athletic sessions in the morning, once in a week. He was the one who took us at that time. Egmo, I wish you many, many, many happy birthdays. You deserve it. You were a great student of Abekuta Grammar School. You were a great teacher to those of us who learned under you. And I am sure posterity will remember you for good.
Well, Baba Shofoluke, who is also 91 plus, we have so many of them.
After his secondary education, he taught at the school under the Reverend Kuti till 1950.
He taught me biology. He became my teacher in 1951. From that period, I became interested in science subjects. It was through his efforts then I was interested in reading pharmacy.
He was the school house master for the boarding house.
He was a housemaster, and because I bear Kunle, and he was Kunle Oyero, I fell in love with him right from the outset. It was the practice in those days to collect your books from the bookshop free, not free really, on credit, and your parents will pay later. I collected all my books, I think second or third day after resumption, and I took them to the cellar. And in the cellar, I had an old-fashioned soap box in which I stored all my things. So I stored all my books there and went in search of a pen to write my names on all of them. It took me less than 10 minutes. By the time I returned, all my books were gone. Somebody had broken into my box and had removed all my new books. I sat down crying for hours, and somebody went and informed our housemaster, Mr. Kunle Oyero, and I was taken to him, and like a big brother, he hugged me, he consoled me, he reassured me, and made me feel a lot better. His advice, his brotherly love, changed my life completely. He was compassionate, he was really brotherly, he was loving to his students, he was firm, but very, very friendly to his students, and very helpful. You couldn't say that for other housemasters, but he was like a parent to the students under his charge.
I was the body fag of Mr. Kunle Oyero, smart, blackie, and very vocal. He's interested in sports. He was my body house master. I was his father. I do everything he wants for him. Kunle is a very jovial, social, sport interested. If says he's going to do this, he will do it. I'm very pleased to wish him all he wished himself.
I have always enjoyed Senator Oyero not only as my master in school, but also as somebody who saw to our continual growth even when we left school. Senator Oyero also functioned as the school bookshop manager. When his accounts were audited, the auditor found that his character was impeccable. That day, when the reports were submitted to the principal was obliged to ask for the bell to be jingled. So we all ran into the hall, and the principal read out the report of the auditor, which confirmed to everybody that he was clean, that his integrity was unquestionable.
The celebrant remains the longest-serving chairman of the Lagos branch of the Abekto Grammar School Old Boys Association, AGSOBA.
The pioneer president of AGSOBA Lagos branch, Baba to me is a president of presidents, chairman of chairmen, a philanthropist, a lawyer, a community leader, a family leader. He's endowed with wisdom, an exemplary person in conduct, in discipline, and in focus. My first encounter with Baba was in 1968, and that was because Baba became president of AGSOBA in 1967, and so in 1968, during the Diamond Jubilee of the school, he was so active, and of course, so active, agile, dynamic, positively moving around, and of course, he stood out with his trademark luxuriant beards. So that attracted me, and I must say that at a point in time, I also developed interest in growing beards. Baba, to me, is our patriarch in AGSOBA.
He resumed at the University College Or, England, to pursue his studies in law, which he concluded at the Kennington College of Law, an affiliate of the University of London, in 1955. He was called to the English bar in Lincoln's Inn on Tuesday, February 8, 1955, and was enrolled at the Supreme Court in Nigeria on Thursday, 16th February 1956.
When I got admitted into the Abekto Grammar School in the year 1948, Chief Kunle Oyero was the school bookseller. It was nice to all the students. We all loved him. One thing that used to remind me of Dr. Oyero was the word I captured from him one day. The word was ex-convict. Ex-convict. I didn't know the meaning until about 4 decades later, when I myself became a prison chaplain. And so, there is no time that I remember the word ex-convict that I will not remember
Chief Kunle Oyero.
Otumba Kunle Oyero is blessed with children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Dr. Tokunbo Oyero is his first son.
I remember going to Bar Beach for a picnic sometime. Quite a few of us, maybe about 4 or 5 of us. And somewhere along the line, we misjudged the waves, and some of us were being carried out to sea. And he was there frantically grabbing one child after the other and throwing them onto the banks, onto the sand, you know. And from then, anytime I'm at the beach, I've now formed the habit of digging my feet into the sand so that when the waves come, I don't get carried away. So, and as many people would say that we tend to behave a lot alike, which again is why we tend to disagree a lot, but we always resolve our differences.
He just wants us to continuously be in unity. And in his lifetime, he has ensured that at least once a year, there is a deliberate attempt for us to meet and felicitate with each other. He's somebody that is practical about his love for his children. Because of his mind, which is loving and clear to everyone, God has blessed him really with this long life.
One thing he did for us is that he allowed us to grow at our own pace. For example, my elder brother and I, we married a month of each other in 1989. The one thing again we also appreciate about him is that he has always been a philanthropist. Even if you go to the village now, virtually you cannot mention his name that somebody will not tell you that, yeah, he did this and he did that.
My father is a disciplinarian. He's very strict to a fault. He loves education and is willing to support anyone that wants to be educated. He taught us to be resilient, that whatever it is, slow and steady wins the race. Though he has his other flaws too. If we offended then, he will use electricity cable, that thick one. That's what he used to beat us with then. And if he found anybody sleeping inside the sitting room, when he enters the house, he will remove his shoes and use it to wake the person.
He also does not encourage backbiting. So if you go to him and say, please, this person, you say anything about anybody, he will bring you forward. He won't say anything. He won't reply you. When the person is there, he will say, oh, Yabiola, come, and say exactly what you told me about this person. So we're always very cautious. Whatever you are not sure of, you dare not go to him and talk to him about it. You know, at that time when we were growing up, children should be seen and not heard. But he encourages us to speak up, to speak against what we don't like, talk to us. Most of the time he wants to know what our opinions are on things. So he encourages us to have a voice.
You can hardly have any interaction with Daddy without him leaving a lasting impression on you, or you tapping into his wealth of knowledge. Daddy has been a major influence in life-changing decisions for me, from the choice of a life partner to how I train my kids, to my profession, to, how I interact with people. I remember as a kid, I would sit on Daddy's lap and pull out his goatee, and he would just smile and laugh. Daddy never joked with his goatee, but he taught me how to be tolerant of people. I learned so many other values from Daddy. He valued integrity. Daddy was strict, but at the same time, he allowed you to express yourself.
My father is a good man. He stays by the law. My father believes so much in education. One of the things that I will never forget in my father. If I ask my father for money for clothes, he likely not to give you. But ask anything, any amount for your education, my father will release it to you.
He has been a stickler for time. honesty has been his watchword. He has always taken transparency to a whole different level. And then also, when it comes to someone who has very strong interest in education, that is him.
I can never ask for it.
He is more than a father-in-law. He happens to be a father to me, a paddy to me. He's a man that I love so much because he's a man that invests into the life of people. He doesn't, in fact, as rich as he is, I don't see him enjoying the wealth himself, but impacting other people's life.
For all his contributions to his alma mater, he was honored with the Distinguished AGSOBA Award, DA, in 1982.
So Baba Oyero has done so much for Egbaland, and we will continue to celebrate him. And as far as our own school is concerned, Baba Oyero is a symbol of unity. Baba Oyero is a very committed AGSOBA.
Baba Oyero is a very, very kind-hearted Christian, a good philanthropist, a person that doesn't think about himself alone. He was a senator, yes. He could have been senator 4 or 5 times round, but it was his joy to pass the baton for someone else to be a senator. May you see more years joyfully, Baba. And we are praying to enjoy longevity like you do, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
This motion is essentially to celebrate one of our predecessors that was in the Senate from 1979 to 1983, and he attained the age of 100 on Saturday, 28th of October. The Senate notes that Senator Kunle Oyero was a member of the Senate in the Second Republic, representing Ogun Central Senatorial District of Ogun State, serving alongside other notable members of that Senate, such as Senators Dr. Joseph Wayers, who was the Senate President, Olusola Saraki, Senate Leader, Abraham Adesoya, and David Davinoni, who incidentally was also his classmate at Abeokuta Grammar School, among all others. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, this man is the last man standing among his colleagues who served in the Senate in the Second Republic. He's 100 years of age, is still kicking. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I so moved.
For him to have met 100 years on earth is a great achievement.
Even at 100, the love and spirit of AGSOBA runs through his veins, as he usually recalls with nostalgia the school anthem anytime and anywhere it is recited.
Congratulations on your birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Lórí òkè àti pẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, ibẹ̀ la gbé bí mi o.
Ibẹ̀ la gbé tán mi dàgbà o. Ilẹ̀ òmìnira.
Máyọ̀, máyọ̀, máyọ̀. Máyọ̀, máyọ̀, máyọ̀.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate a quintessential personality, a hero, a rare gem, and former senator of Nigeria, an alumnus of the prestigious Abeokuta Grammar School, distinguished Senator Kunle Oyero, on this joyous, symbolic, and spectacular 100th birthday.